Welcome, my dear friends, for yet another session on Thinking and Destiny. The subject for today's discussion is the body. I will read out from this book of Harold Percival. The book explains the purpose of life. That purpose is not merely to find happiness either here or hereafter. Neither is it to save one's soul. The real purpose of life, the purpose that will satisfy both sense and reason, is this: that each one of us will be progressively conscious in ever higher degrees in being conscious. That is, conscious of nature and in and through and beyond nature. By nature is meant all that one can be made conscious of through the senses. The book also introduces you to yourself. It brings you the message about yourself, your mysterious self that inhabits your body. Perhaps you have always identified yourself with and as your body, and when you try to think of yourself, you therefore think of your bodily mechanism. By force of habit, you have spoken of your body as I, as myself. You are accustomed to use such expressions as when I was born, and when I die, and I saw myself in the glass, and I rested myself, I cut myself, and so on, when in reality it is your body that you speak of. To understand what you are, you must first see clearly the distinction between yourself and the body you live in. The fact that you use the term my body as readily as you use any of those just quoted would suggest that you are not altogether unprepared to make this important distinction.
Dear friends, dear masters, and dear gods, we are now going to deal or understand about the body from Mr. Percival, who has given us fabulous wisdom in his book Thinking and Destiny. As you have heard Mr. Rajan reading out from the book, I would like to throw some light as I have understood the subject, the paragraph that he has read out. That is, we usually think that we are the body. We are not the energy, consciousness, and wisdom part. That we are operating the body. That body is a mechanism through which we are living here. We are not the body, but we are the energy, the force behind that which really operates the body. But we seldom realize this because we are accustomed to thinking about the body only as ourselves. We have identified ourselves with the body much more than the energy that operates or the soul that operates. We have not come across that factor and we don't think of it that many times. In a day, if you take, we almost always think of us as the body only. Refer to our bodies only. I was born on such and such a date. I think like this. I like that. I like this. Like that, that I is referred to only as a body, not as an energy factor. We never think like that. Well, we used to that. But in reality, we are not the body. We are that great energy, that Atman, that is present everywhere and in everything. And we see everything through the senses. We perceive the nature and we go through that and we have to become conscious of that. We become conscious of the nature through our senses. For example, we smell, some fragrance comes and we smell through that. I mean, we are conscious of that particular object that gives out that fragrance. So like that, we move on in our lives. Through the senses, we learn so much, we become conscious. And this being conscious should go beyond nature, and we should know that the ever-pervading consciousness is there, and that consciousness as we have to think of that. We have to put ourselves that side, the other side, and view everything from that point of view. But we don't do that naturally. But from this book, he insists that we think like that, because that is the experience that he has got, and he has started thinking like that. So let us all take his wisdom and go about it, and we start thinking that we are not the bodies. We are not the mere mechanism or the object through which we live. We are the force, the energy. That is what is we are. That we have to come to understand, to the understanding, and then only we'll be able to realize the or become conscious of consciousness. So I would like Purnima to throw some more light on this as she has understood. So
Hello, friends. So, the first para which Mr. Rajan read is amazing actually. This book explains the purpose of life, he says. Each one of us is born here to know the purpose of our lives. It is not just to be happy, but to be progressively aware. Conscious meaning aware here. Awareness is a simple term, I feel, because you will be able to understand. So, aware of everything around us through our senses, and every single day, I think we should make progress in that. Every meditation of yours should make progress in that, because I would like to quote some part of Buddha's life here. When actually Buddha got enlightenment, the first thing he did was he took a fruit out. One boy who was around him offered a fruit to Gautam Buddha, and he peeled the orange which was given to him, and he distributed all the pieces to all the people around him, and he started having the orange, and he told the people there that how consciously he was having the orange with complete awareness, with complete taking the complete smell of the orange, the taste completely in his tongue. So that highest level of awareness we should all have, and that is what I think Percival is trying to tell us here. That is what I feel, and I think we should be completely aware of every single moment of ourselves. And also in the second para, he has explained about who actually we are. We are not merely the body, and that was made clear by Mrs. Girja Rajan. So I think we can proceed on to the next messages that Mr. Percival has given us.
One more thing I thought I should add is that Percival has also mentioned that the purpose is not merely to find happiness either here or hereafter. Now, what does he mean by the word hereafter? As far as I can understand with my limited knowledge, is that hereafter refers to all the other worlds where we are going to be almost living or existing. So, as we have seen from all the knowledge of spirituality, we go to the other worlds, even the soul goes, the spirit goes to the other worlds. So, the happiness should continue even there, and the purpose of life is nothing but having happiness throughout.
I think he says that it is not, the purpose of life is not to find happiness here and here. Merely that. The purpose is not that. That is here and hereafter. Means here or wherever we are. To be happy. That is not the purpose. The purpose really is to be conscious of consciousness. That is what he means. So that is what we should understand from his words. So we always, men and women of the people of this world, think that they have to find out only happiness. That is enough. That is the end of life. That is the end of the day. End of the day, how you feel, okay, happy, means okay. Not that. He says our purpose is a very higher purpose, highest purpose, and that highest purpose is to be conscious of consciousness. That is what he would say.
I would
he
amend
says
by saying that it's not merely happiness, but progressively finding more and more being conscious in all states.
Yes.
That is what he meant.
Yeah,
Just
and
finished.
moreover, in Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement, Patriji has been emphasizing that we are not the body, we are the Atmans. We are the soul which operates the body. We are not the body itself. And we all, when we come to know about more about body and how it has been formed and how it will perish one day, we will come to know, to understand much more of this, and that we will be able to easily understand that we are not the body.
You should know that you are not your body. You should know that your body is not you. You should know this because when you think about it, you realize that your body is very different today from what it was when in childhood you first became conscious of it. During the years that you have lived in your body, you have been aware that it has been changing in its passing through its childhood and adolescence and youth, and into its present condition, it has changed greatly. And you recognize that as your body has matured, there have been gradual changes in your view of the world and your attitude towards life. But throughout these changes, you have remained you. That is, you have been conscious of yourself as being the same self, the identical I, all the while. Your reflection on this simple truth compels you to realize that you definitely are not and cannot be your body. Rather, that your body is a physical organism that you live in, a living nature mechanism that you are operating, an animal that you are trying to understand, to train and master.
Oh, this is very wonderful that Percival has told us all. That is, how do we understand that we are not the body? Beautifully, he has explained that we have never been our bodies because our bodies have been undergoing so much of change from childhood to now. So many changes. You think of it. I myself, if I think of it, I was a lean girl when I was up to my some age, and after that I gathered so much of weight, and then now the it has all gone, the weight has gone, I have become again lean. So much of changes. And also I also understand, I came to know that every cell of our body changes and it is replaced every time. And the 1 year it takes for all the cells in our body to change. So completely every year all the cells change. So much of changes are happening. So how can we say that we are the body? Because there is, which is the cell that you are referring to? Because it has already changed. So how can we say that we are the bodies? So that way, if we analyze and think deeply, yes, we all can understand that we are not the bodies. The body is only a mechanism or a machine through which we are operating, we are functioning, and we are living. It's a living machine. That much we should understand.
I think she has given most of what is there in this para, but I would just like to add 2 points here. That is, he refers to our body as an animal, and also that we can master and train. We can actually master and train. That means that we can order our body to do whatever we actually want.
You know how your body came into this world, but how you came into your body, you do not know. You did not come into it until some time after it was born, a year perhaps or several years, but of this fact you know little or nothing, because your memory of your body began only after you had come into your body. You know something about the material of which your ever changing body is composed, but what it is that you are, you do not know. You are not yet conscious as what you are in your body. You know the name by which your body is distinguished from the bodies of others, and this you have learned to think of as your name. What is important is that you should know not who you are as a personality, but what you are as an individual, conscious of yourself, but not yet conscious as yourself, an unbroken identity. You know that your body lives, and you quite reasonably expect that it will die, for it is a fact that every living human body dies in time. Your body had a beginning and it will have an end, and from the beginning to the end, it is subject to the laws of the world of phenomena, of change and of time. You, however, are not in the same way subject to the laws that affect your body. Although your body changes the material of which it is composed oftener than you change the costumes with which you clothe it, your identity does not change. You are ever the same you.
So beautifully put by Percival. Thank you so much, sir, Percival, wherever you are. A great revelation. That is to easily understand that we are not the bodies that we are living in. We can identify ourselves. We are identifying ourselves so far now only as our bodies, and we can also think of the other as another body because we have got names for the bodies. So we differentiate ourselves by the names and the bodies that we occupy. But actually, in reality, and the truth is that we are not the body that we are that exists here. It is only the some other very great energy that has entered the body. We know that we are living in this world, but we really do not know how we have entered and what material we are made of. But one thing only we know very well, that whatever changes the body undergoes, our identity, I as a personality, we remain the same. From childhood, when we come to know about ourselves, from that time till the end, up to where we stay in this world, we have got the separate identity. We have got our own qualities, our own distinctions. All those things are distinct qualities. So all these things are there. We know that our identity never changes. So it is not subject to change at all. That is what we can, if we think over deeply, we will understand all these things. And it is very easy to understand also. That way, Percival has put it down to that very simple terms. So I think it is very easy for everyone to understand.
So, as we progress in understanding that we are not the body, you can also refer to Bhagavad Gita here. In many of the Bhagavad Gita slokas, he has mentioned that we are not the body, and it is just compared to the clothes that we wear. Every lifetime, we remove those clothes and come back as a soul. So as we progress in understanding this, it will be easier for us. So I think that is what I inferred from this para.
Yeah, that is as we, the material that is made of the body, that makes up the body, those materials, they change even faster than we change our clothes. That's what he has mentioned. And one more step Purnima has thrown light upon is about the Bhagavad Gita, from the Bhagavad Gita, that we change our bodies as we change the clothes. So the soul remains the same. So next incarnation we take, next birth we re-exist is through another body. So it is like changing the clothes. That's all. Life and death is simply that.
Today we end the session with only this sentence, this most important sentence that Percival has told, that even though the body changes the material of which it is composed oftener than you change your costumes, we have to understand that our identity does not change and you are the ever same you. That is the final words of today's message.
I'd like to add here some more points that Patriji has been often telling us, because from here we can refer to that also, because Patriji tells us that there is no death, that the body, we feel the body dies. We know that the body will die. We are born here, and there is an end to it. But there is no end to the soul. So when we think that we are not the body and that we are the soul is ever living. It is neither created nor it can be destroyed. It is never unchangeable. So it remains the same. Only the body will change. It is born, it is composed of certain things, and it exists for certain period of time, and then it undergoes again a change. That change we call as death. So we should understand exactly what death is. So that happens only to the material or the machine, the living machine that we operate as the great Atman. So that we have to think that we are the great souls, that we permeate into the body, and operate the body, live here for some time, and that body may or may not perish. It is up to us. It is up to our thinking. That is what Percival also tells. So all these things give us the great insight that the body is ever changing. So, and that we are not the bodies. We are the great force, the energy, the consciousness, and the wisdom entity that operates the body, lives in the body, and it enters the body and then it goes out of the body. So we should understand clearly that we enter the body and then go out. Like we have traveled in our childhood or sometime in our life, our train or bus will travel through a tunnel. So like that we travel through this body, then we come to without the body. So without the tunnel we travel, then we come into the tunnel, then go out. It is like that. So it is similar to that. So let us think it so simply and then understand that we are all very, very great beings here operating the body, and we'll make the best use of it, and we'll become conscious of the ever-present consciousness. Thank you so much.
I think all the points have been covered now. There's not much anything more left from this reading. So see you all once again in the next episode.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.